If you can be successful in all of those areas, what will start to happen is you're going to have an overwhelming amount of people who are willing to follow and an overwhelming amount of people who look to you for leadership. So I just want to challenge you. Work on your integrity as much as your skill sets. Welcome back to the Leaders Only podcast, where we talk about business, leadership mindset, and just pretty much anything revolved around building an incredible life. You know, one of the reasons that I started this podcast is because I felt like on the way to where we're at now, there wasn't really a place to go to learn tangible skills that are needed in order to succeed and further yourself and just get better overall in every area of your life. And so some background about me, I built a sales company that does over 8 figures a year. I own over $10 million worth of real estate, and I've built a multiple 7-figure income that's streamlined and in all honesty doesn't really need me. I plan on teaching you and documenting everything that I learned along the way. And if you get something out of today's message, if you can do me a favor, if you can like, share, and subscribe, it will give us the ability to further our message and help more people, which is what we're all about. Thank you guys so much. Let's dive in. And so today, one of the things that we're going to talk about is something that I wish I knew sooner, something that I wish somebody taught me, and something that completely transformed my leadership, it transformed my business, and it transformed my life once I understand the importance of it. And it all comes down to a quote. And what that quote is that great leaders work on their character and their integrity as much as their skill set. Let me say it again. Great leaders work on their character and their integrity just as much as their skill set, because you could be the most skilled, talented person in the world, but that's not enough in order to be able to keep and attain success and wealth. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about the wealth of your marriage, the wealth of the relationship you have with your children. I'm talking about wealth in life that doesn't apply just to money and or business. And so for me, what I've realized is that your ambition, your drive, your work ethic, your skill sets will determine how big of a business you build. It will determine how much money you're able to make, but your character and your integrity will determine whether or not you're able to keep that success. And so when I became intentional about making sure that my foundation was sound, when I became intentional about making sure that my foundation was everything that it needed to be to build an incredible life, that's when everything started to shift. And so the analogy that I like to use is a bucket full of water. But let's say the foundation is not there. Let's say there's a crack in the bucket or a hole in the bucket. Is that water going to stay within the bucket? Of course not. It's going to slowly leak out. It's going to slowly dwindle away to the point that there's either A, no more water in the bucket, and or B, it's going to get to a point where you have to continue to replace all the water in the bucket to make it look like it's actually full. And what I've realized is that's what happens to most people in business. They are recruiting to replace rather than recruiting to retain. And the reason they have to continue to recruit to replace is because they are not who they need to be in leadership in order to actually keep people around. And so there are cracks in their foundation. There's cracks in their integrity. There's cracks in their character. And so don't get me wrong. If I have a bucket full of water and the foundation is solid, does that mean I'm going to keep all the water? No, there's natural circumstances where the water will evaporate, where the water will slowly dwindle away just through life. And that's what happens when you're dealing with people. It won't be because of a character flaw, though. It won't be because of an integrity issue. And that's very, very important. If you are having to rebuild your team over and over and over, it's because you are not who you need to be in order to actually keep people. So the question I have for you is, who do you need to become to actually be able to retain and keep the people that you are leading? Because it is not enough to just have success in business. It is not enough to just have financial success. If you want to truly lead people, you need to be able to lead people in all areas of their life, not just in business. When I'm looking for mentorship and when I'm looking for leadership, I don't go to people who just have business success. I don't go to people who just have financial success, because the only thing that they're going to be able to do is teach me how to have business and financial success. And for me, that's not the definition of being rich. The definition of being rich is having all of your priorities in order: an incredible marriage, a strong faith, incredible relationships with your children, a world-class business, an incredible situation financially, and an amazing lifestyle. So when I'm looking for leadership and when I'm looking for mentorship, I want to make sure that I go to somebody who embodies all of the areas that equal success, not just one or the other. And so if you want to become influential to the people that you are leading, I want you to know that your success in business and your success financially will never be enough. If that is what you are banking on, you will have to continue to recruit and replace. But if you can grow in all areas of your life, your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your fun, if you can be successful in all of those areas, what will start to happen is you're going to have an overwhelming amount of people who are willing to follow and an overwhelming amount of people who look to you for leadership. So I just want to challenge you. Work on your integrity as much as your skill sets. Work on your character as much as your skill sets. And work on your foundation as much as your skill sets. Because it doesn't matter how much you accomplish if your foundation is not solid, if your foundation is built on sand rather than a rock, it doesn't matter what you build, you will not be able to keep it. And that's what I see happening to people all the time in business. So I just want to challenge you, work on those things. And I promise you, your entire life will shift, your entire business will shift, and you will live a lot happier and more blissful of a life. And so guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you got something out of today, if you could do me a favor, if you can like, share, and subscribe, that would be incredible. Obviously, we put out all this information for free, all this content for free. And all we ask is that if you got something out of it, that you share it with other people. Thank you guys so much. God bless. And I'll see you guys next week on another episode of the Leaders Only podcast.